The FDA has declared eggs a healthy food. That is right. People must be overjoyed. They're glad the FDA is finally speaking some truth. What I really want to know, though, is how long have they known this? And, I think it's a weird coincidence that they're just kind of forcing this statement out now, right? They know RFK's about a walk-in swinging, and they're like, quick, what do we do real quick to make it look like we were doing something truthful and positive? I'm guessing that's the case. And, they do state that it's still good to consume in moderation and that they recommend about 1 egg a day. 1 egg? Who eats 1 egg a day? Most people that eat animal-based eat a lot of eggs. I go through 4 dozen eggs a week, so that doesn't really help me. But to not be completely pessimistic, I will say that it's at least a milestone moving in the right direction. It is a good thing. And to have the FDA state something like dietary cholesterol it's not completely, but they state that it's not a significant leading factor to blood level cholesterol. So that is a positive thing. But quick, let's take a look at what Fox News has to say about this statement.
News for you right now. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration updated their definition of what healthy foods are on Thursday. It's an update of the agency's definition originally devised 30 years ago. The move is aimed at helping Americans navigate food labels at the grocery store and make choices that are aligned with federal dietary guidelines in hopes of reducing rates of diet-related chronic disease. The new rule will take effect within 2 months, and food manufacturers will have until February of 2028 to comply. A label that designates certain foods as healthy is still being developed, and that's a...
Hold up. Did they just say 2028? My Lord. Because, to me, 3 years seems like an awful long time to adjust labeling when we're pretty goddamn aware, at least in the general public, of what healthy foods are. And you're telling me it takes 3 years to adjust a label? Because I'm pretty sure I could download a nutrition label from any brand out there and adjust it myself with any number of program on my computer. But you're telling me it takes 3 years? To me, that sounds like, let's give them 3 years so they can adjust their parameters and find out what kind of fuckery they can still carry on with. People don't need 3 years to figure out what's healthy and to label something as healthy. If it's healthy, put the label on it. If it's not, just don't eat it. We really need people to awaken and come to terms with the fact that processed foods and unhealthy foods are terrible for you, but people just aren't aware of it. It's mind-boggling to me because I'm able to tie the strings together of feeling like shit and eating garbage. But when you're in that cycle of just eating trash, people, they aren't able to tie it together. And once you actually get away from these foods, you start to realize what kind of terrible side effects they have. But we need people to awaken. We need them to acknowledge the fact that these foods are unhealthy and to, give people another 3 years to be devouring these processed foods is pretty ridiculous. You know the amount of people in 3 years that could get diabetes, that could establish heart disease, that could die from these chronic illnesses that is still carrying on through consuming these foods. It's catastrophic. It's an incredible number. So this is a great milestone, but we need to think about the fact that we've been lied to for years. So what else are they willing to do? This seems like a forced statement. It seems like they really had to just struggle, grit their teeth, and just kind of get this one out there because they know that change is coming. They know people are becoming awakened. So everything this tells me is that we have the power. As the people, we now have the ability to seek out our own information. We have the ability to reap the benefits in our own lives through trial and error, but we can't rely on agencies like the FDA to give us health guidelines, which is unfortunate because we should be able to. We should be able to trust an agency like the Food and Drug Administration. Yeah, they're supposed to have our back. They're supposed to be looking out for the people, but no, they're looking out for corporations. They're looking out for themselves. They're looking out for the federal government. It sucks, but the power is shifting to us. We are able to take control of our own lives, and guess what? Now the statement is made by the FDA, and guess who made them make that statement? Yes, it is the people. It is us, the ones that acknowledge the real truth, the ones who have reaped the benefits in our own lives and seen the outcome. So let's continue, people. Let's keep forcing these narratives and these messages onto people that don't understand. Some things have to be shoved down people's throat, and they don't understand until they seek it in their own lives. But you really got to get it out there. You have to just make it aware. You have to voice it, and it's going to take time. But things like this are a positive thing because other people will read it that we're just completely unaware. So let's keep moving forward. Let's build on this, and let's get a better, healthy America.